What sweet, breathtaking magnificence! Never before has the greatness of the human spirit been so clearly manifested to me. The sculptor Auguste Rodin, describing the Cathedral of Notre-Dame at Chartres in France. Chartres is 75 kilometers southwest of Paris, in the Beauce region. The cathedral attracts pilgrims from all around the world. It was built as an expression of faith in the Virgin Mary, who has been venerated here since the early Middle Ages. Her image is said to possess the power of working miracles. One such miracle happened in June 1194, when the cathedral burnt to the ground. But the precious relic kept at Chartres, the holy tunic of the Mother of God, survived the fire unharmed. In just 27 years, the cathedral was rebuilt, a second miracle which filled all France with admiration. The new building was of proportions hitherto unknown. Even the hallways of the portals were high enough to soar above the cluster of surrounding buildings. It was a masterly achievement, and one we can only properly understand if we consult the 12th century chronicles. At that time, the people in the country around Chartres lived by farming. When they knew that the precious relic and its reliquary had survived the fire, they were seized by a new religious ardour. Men and women alike laid down their work and hastened to Chartres to help rebuild the cathedral. The pilgrims began pouring into Chartres, and with them they brought the money the town so badly needed. The bishop, canons and townspeople made contributions too. Even humble artisans had a part in the decoration of the new cathedral. They donated stained glass windows in which the generosity of their guilds was commemorated. In Chartres Cathedral, the various elements of Gothic architecture were brought together for the first time. The expertise of the master builder went hand in hand with spiritual vision. The nave, transepts and choir are in majestic harmony. The style is uncomplicated. The cathedral soars heavenward as if no longer bound by gravity, symbolizing order and the unity of the spirit. The ordinary people were unable to read Holy Scripture. It was important for the cathedral to tell religious stories. Every detail had to speak as eloquently as the words of the Mass. The pilgrims were dazzled by the cathedral's splendour. It's easy to see why. In medieval times, the portals were gilded and the sculptures were painted in radiant colours. The figures tell tales from the Old and New Testaments. On the middle door of the south portal is a life-size Christ as teacher, surrounded by the 12 apostles. The west front is the oldest part of the building, the only part to have survived the fire of 1194. Fortunately, the sculptures on the Portail Royal survived as well. They are among the most celebrated sculptures of the Middle Ages. Slender, tall and erect, with the pillars at their backs, the figures complement the vertical lines of the architecture perfectly. On the capitals above their heads, populous scenes telling of God's redemptive grace are carved. For the medieval world, a cathedral symbolized the city of God. It was the new Jerusalem, opening its doors to accept the faithful into its protective care. The cathedral was a place of worship and prayer, but also the social hub of the town and region. People met and talked here, and on the principal church feast days, pilgrims who had come to see the Blessed Virgin's tunic could bed down for the night inside the cathedral. Looking down from the gallery, the impact of the nave on the 13th century faithful can easily be imagined. 37 metres in height, it outsoared every other cathedral in existence. Innovations in statics made possible the remarkable height of Chartres. Gothic architects had realised that with a ribbed vault, the weight was borne not by the walls, but by the braces, struts and freestanding pillars. And since the walls were no longer supporting, they could be replaced by windows. The windows were made as large as possible, translating a mystical interpretation of light into architectural reality. God is light, and light gives the things of this world their beauty. Above the Portail Royal are the three oldest windows in the cathedral. The centre window portrays the Incarnation. First comes the Annunciation. The Archangel Gabriel is hailing Mary with two fingers upraised. 24 individual scenes tell of the life and passion of Jesus Christ. All of the cathedral windows were made in Chartres. They are translucent mosaics composed of myriad tiny pieces of glass. The oldest and perhaps loveliest is an image of the Virgin known as Notre-Dame de la Belle Verrière, Our Lady of the Beautiful Glass. In their majestic, erect postures, the glass figures recall the sculptures on the portals. And so, in just 27 years, some 160 windows were made, a total area of more than 2,000 square metres. Most of them are the pure blue of the heavens. This is the renowned Chartres blue. To this day, its radiance is undiminished. The colourful play of light on the floor of the cathedral is unique. The light crosses the interior as the sun changes position. In medieval times it was thought to be divine, a radiance direct from paradise. The principal events in the Chartres year were the feast days associated with the Virgin. The processions passed through the cathedral to the Holy Tunic, the relic which made Chartres one of the foremost places where Mary was worshipped in France. Emperor Charles I, the Bold, brought the relic from Aix-la-Chapelle to Chartres in 876. Mary is said to have worn the Sancta Camicia at the birth of Christ. It is a symbol of the redemption and sanctuary promised by Chartres. The mere sight of the tunic once sufficed to put besieging Norsemen to flight. Notre-Dame de Chartres was the first high Gothic cathedral. It is magnificent in its achieved unity of architecture, sculpture and stained glass. Chartres puts before our eyes the medieval world which we cannot so easily envisage from reading alone. It is a cathedral built with more than experience, calculation, T-squares and compasses. What breathed the spirit into this great house of God was the impulse to free the human soul aloft, beyond the gravity of this world.